Board games, board games is what we're talking about. Board game conventions. I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing. Bez and Sarah are our names. Sarah is Big Girl Games, and I have also made some stuff. I'll take it to UK Games Expo. I hope it's good enough. Board games is what we're talking about. Board games. I'm not going to shout. Hey, hello and good morning to the Americans. I guess it is generally like morning time to you. Good evening to good night to Australians. Good afternoon to people from the UK, wherever you are, whatever time it is. If you're, I mean, you might not even be watching this live, but thank you for watching, Gus. And this is another Playful Shenanigans with Sarah.
Hello.
So, thank you for joining me once more. And it is, although parts of me this morning was thinking, oh my gosh, I've got so much to do, and then I was off doing stuff, and then I came back, but then I had this idea for a kind of top 10 list and a secret kind of turning a conversation and making sure that I've done the right things. Secretly, Sarah's top 10 things to do is just me wanting to make sure, have I actually done all the things I want to do?
Yes, exactly.
And hello, Bones and Banners. It is lovely to see you, and I see that I can actually now see your face. I know you're based in the UK, but are you going to UK Games Expo? I hope you're generally well, Bones and Banners. Lots of love there. And so before we started, you said that you've never been to a convention before. Is this correct?
Not a game con. Yeah. I mean, I grew up in an industry that had lots of conventions, but it was a whole different
When you say
issue.
you grew up, you mean
my parents raised horses and were very active in the horse industry in the United States and kind of around the world. And so I went to lots of horse conventions. It's not the same thing. They are not fun. They're not. They're not. There are no horses at horse conventions. What? Just lots of meetings. They're very boring.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's...
So I want to go to a game con.
If someone said, do you want to go to a horse convention? I would be like, yes, absolutely. And I would expect to see horses.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, and hello, Flo, it is lovely to see you. But like, what would you expect from a horse convention? I mean, yeah, Flo, Bones and Banners, let me know, because I wouldn't expect to be able to ride all the horses. I mean, I do really enjoy riding horses. I've managed to do it a few times. But I would expect to at least be able to see the horses, maybe have a ride if I'm lucky, maybe at least, go and learn a little bit about, oh yeah, this is this kind of horse, this is this kind of horse, this is a mini horse, this is a Shetland pony, I don't know, maybe they've got... but yeah, this is really disappointing. I'm doing my stretching.
Yeah. Industries like that use conventions for meetings. Although I will say, so my PhD is in water policy, and I did get to go to actually a really interesting water conference a few years back, and it was a lot of cool stuff. It was more like I would want like a game kind of be like. There was all kinds of stuff about water and being good stewards of our water and scarcity and stuff like that. So that was actually fun if you're into water like I am.
I'm not against conventions that are about the theory rather than the thing. I actually made a convention, and I think it ran 3 times. It was called BG DevCon. It wasn't like a great big thing, but it was like a one-day thing from, I think, 10 a.m. and I think we opened the doors either 9 or 10, and then events officially finished at 5, but then people were there maybe until 9 or 11. And it was for people interested in the creation of board games. So it wasn't to were not allowed to play any board games between the main thing. It was like a very strict thing. And, you know, I think that playtesting is amazing, but the whole idea was, what if we just talked about them and then talking to other people about, hey, this is what I've done in this game. Like Mike Nod saying, hey, this is how Waggle Dance went. This is how this game, this is what I was thinking during this game. Someone saying, hey, this is how I brought this experience and this emotion into this game. Someone saying, hey, this is a thing I've not even worked out how to do, but this could be cool. And I like that kind of thing. And that sounds like maybe for water, because you're interested in the theory of things. But when it's just business meetings, that's kind of sad.
It is. I feel like the horse industry has missed out some fun stuff.
Wait, for some reason, I thought Bones and Banners was based in UK. I do apologize, Bones and Banners. I don't know why I thought you were based in... actually, I do know why I thought you were based in UK, but it might be breach of privacy, because I think... But, I think that conventions are a great... Have you heard of Nuremberg and New York Toy Fairs?
Yes.
So I went to Nuremberg Toy Fair for the first ever time in 2020, true story. And then it's so business orientated. There's bits where you just can't go in. Like if you want to go and see Mattel, or if you want to see Hasbro, if you want to go and check out their stuff, you're not allowed unless you've got an appointment.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And some people are like different degrees of secretive about stuff. So when I went in to see Haba's stuff, like I went in and then I said, oh yeah, I'm a designer. And I had this little card that says I'm a designer. And then they're like, oh, and I said, I don't have an appointment, but I would like to see your upcoming stuff so that I can make something that suits you in future years. And they're like, okay, that's fine, you're allowed in. But even there, they've got to, can we let this person in? We want to make sure that they're not a spy, because that's what happens in this. When you start selling millions rather than tens of thousands.
Right.
But, it's definitely... And I remember the first time I went to London Toy Fair, which is a much smaller thing. So Nuremberg is... I don't know how to describe it. It's the size of, football fields are fairly regular, right? American football fields and UK football fields, like soccer, as you call it, it's a similar size. So I would say Nuremberg, London Toy Fair is about one football field, right? It's got the second floor, so maybe you could say it's 1.5, 2 football fields. Nuremberg, it's, I would say, at least 5, 6, 7, I don't know. It's very big, and then they've got not just the toys, not just the games, but they've also got things like a balloon machine and the sports stuff and the costumes and the dolls here. And actually, I think 5-7 is definitely underestimating it. Now I'm having flashbacks of like they had at least one space which was 3 floors, and like all like they had one spot that was the sports, and it was like one football field full of like trampolines and like cars that you could drive around. But like people weren't using these things. People weren't like enjoying them. And I got to sit on top of this horse where like they don't expect people to enjoy the things. So I like this was a little horse that you had to kind of squeeze your legs together, and then it goes up and down and it goes forwards. It's like a really expensive toy, but it was good fun. And they just had one person demoing it to try and get the shopkeepers to buy it. But then I did their demoing for like 5 minutes, just took it on a tour of this one thing.
That's awesome.
It was so much fun. But anyway, I love conventions. If you can't tell, it's in my voice. It probably comes across a bit, the excitement and the passion. And for me, UK Games Expo, sorry I'm dominating the conversation a wee bit because you don't have conventions to talk about, I guess. But UK Games Expo, yes, I'm going there partially to show off Wee Whimsical Creatures, to sell that to people, to show off my games. But largely it is just to be there, to enjoy it, to see all the people again. And things have already gone wrong. Like I didn't get the electricity that I wanted for my special machine and all sorts of things. But and I've not cut enough stickers out. I'm worried that I'm going to run out of stickers but it's all workouts, and this will be like a run up to 2022. So my introductory question to you and also everyone else is, if you've been to a convention, I know you haven't, Sarah, what was your favorite? But if you haven't been to a convention, or even if you have been to a convention, what would you like your first or next convention to be? Because this is a kind of time where even if you did go to loads of conventions, maybe you've not been for a year and a half or 2 years.
Right.
And so what would you like the first or next convention that you go to be? What would you like from this convention? What would your... I'm not going to say dream, because like then we could go into like, let's have it on the moon, let's do it through gravity. Like, what would you like to have as your first convention?
I mean, I feel like I'm supposed to say Gen Con, but being an introvert, I'm a little overwhelmed by even thinking about going to Gen Con. I think the one that's in the Northwest, is it PAX Northwest? I think one of those would be a good one for me, kind of because I'm on this side of the country, and I know a bunch of people in the California, Oregon, Washington gaming, and so that might be a good start for me. I also, and I can't remember who I was talking to. I don't remember if it was Anna Maria or just who, but somebody else who's an introvert like I am, who was saying we need to plan.
Carla Kopp?
Maybe. It was several months ago, but we were talking about how we need to plan like special introverted activities, non-activities during cons, like have a couple of rooms that are just quiet and dark. And if you have signed up to be one of the introverts who participates, you can go and just lie down for a while, or just sit in the dark for a while, or just be quiet, or like we could just all go and sit at a table quietly and have a beer together.
So literally no talking, no interaction.
Yeah.
Not even like playing.
Right. Yeah, just time to unwind and to recharge our batteries, because being with people is so draining. And then be able to go back out and do the things that we want, because we want to be with our friends. We want to play the games, but also it would be nice to have something that would allow for us to be our little introverty selves as well.
That's really interesting. There was, before I get to Flo's comments, I want to quickly say that one thing I went to, which was non-binary Pride, and just going to a Pride event, because it's like any Pride event, it's quite full on. Like there's all this stuff happening, and it's a new, especially if it's like the first time that you've been. And then they had this little room that was just kind of to be, okay, here's some cute colors, and you can just sit and no one talks, and you can tinker on your phone. And there was like one moment where I think also things were going on in my life, and I was feeling super overwhelmed, and it was just really nice to be there, because whilst I'm more of an extrovert and I wouldn't want to be on my own, but I definitely see the value in being, okay, this is a quiet room. And the other thing I wanted to say, going to game conventions, is Aircon in Harrogate in the UK. They have a room where this is the quiet room, so you're only allowed to play quiet games here. Nice. You can't play shouty games, you can't play stuff like Jungle Speed or Happy Salmon. No, that would be right out, of course, but like kind of keep the volume low. Just you can play games. But I might actually suggest to Mark your idea, because that's a really interesting idea, and they're really keen to make things accessible in that way. And Flo says, I'm in Las Vegas, so I'm looking forward to Dice Tower West in March. I get to hang out with several friends for days and days playing games. That sounds fantastic. Does that mean that that is probably going to be the next convention you go to? Is that, I guess, your yearly thing? I guess it happened in 2020 is what I believe, but so it'll be only skipping 1 year really. But that does sound lovely, and I can and Flo says, yes, that is the next one. And I can totally get behind these kind of convention friends when you go. And I'm curious, Flo, like, if it's the same with you, that the first time I went to UK Games Expo, I basically didn't know anyone. And by the end of it, this group called the Thursday Nights, they had taken me under their wing. And then when we came across each other, we'd play some games, and we sort of got to know each other. And every year it's like, hey, I see you again. Hey, I see you again. Even though we only see each other once a year, it's like, these are my friends from this thing. And, hello, Slivers. Lovely to see you. But yeah.
Well, I just wrote Dice Tower West in Las Vegas. I'm assuming, Flo, that it's in Las Vegas. Because I mean, that's close to me. Close in the Western US. Nothing out here is close. But
I mean, how many hours drive is that going to be for you?
I think it's probably about a 12-hour drive from here to Vegas. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe 10.
Yeah, US close. That is not close.
Yeah. US close, yes, exactly.
And Flo says these are local friends. I mean,
but see, Flo, if I come, then you could meet me and we wouldn't be strangers, right? Because we've been talking on here for several months now. I don't feel like you're a stranger. I feel like I sort of know-ish you.
It's, if you didn't know someone that was going to Las Vegas, do you think you would want to go?
Me?
Sarah, yeah.
I mean, from the point of view of if I could go as Big Girl Games and like have a table and, let people play test my games and maybe sell some stuff, I could do that. I could do that as a business owner. Absolutely. But I think this is part of the reason why I'm still a little hesitant because we're still in a pandemic.
COVID,
but,
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just to go to a con, just to be a participant, no, I would not go by myself.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And Flo says, exactly, I would be happy to see you.
I'm so glad. I'm a terrible heart maker. There we go. That's better. With my funky thumbs.
And Bones and Banners is also leaving 2022 as the year to go back to conventions.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if I were a bigger look, there's a reason why I've not asked people to help me. I have not asked anyone except for Jason. So I found out that Tom Cauldron, who's designed Categorical, is also going. So Tom's going to be on the stand for a little bit.
Nice.
But I didn't want to encourage people to go. It's the truth. I am... Okay, real talk, just for a minute. Yes, there is a pandemic. Most people in this country, in the UK where I live, have gotten their first shot. Most people who want their second shot have either gotten it or are getting it within the next month. Now, within the next month, obviously, doesn't help for something that's happening on Thursday. But, I mean, I myself, I'm single vaccinated. I will reveal that publicly. I have gotten now, a bunch of months ago, I thought about it. Richard Denning, one of the co-organizers, Richard and Tony are the two founders of it who are still in charge. There's like other people involved, but you know what I mean. So there are the two head honchos, you might say. Richard reached out and said, hey, do you want to come? And I said, yes, if you genuinely, as a doctor and as a friend and as a kind human, are telling me that it's safe to go ahead, I will come. and I don't honestly expect to make a profit, but I will consider it my whimsy budget. And I think that's pretty much how I explained it in my email to Richard. Because obviously Richard kind of emailed every single exhibitor who was due to come in 2020 to say, hey, it's happening at this point, and would you like to come? And then there was a bit of back and forth. And this year has been a lot more higgledy-piggledy. It's not been as organized as before. Alan O'Connor earlier today told me that normally all the press people would get a list of all the exhibitors, all their emails, and boom, these are the people to contact as press. This year there was nothing. Normally, as an exhibitor, I would get a list of the press people, name, surname, this is who you are, this is your email, this is whatever. And this year they didn't have the emails, they didn't have the web addresses. And hello, Mill. It's lovely to see you. Is that Mill from Descent Games? And I hope that you're very well. And I saw that I am also on the kind of same block as Descent Games. So I am 2452, I believe, and Descent is like 45 something else. But it's lovely to see you, and thanks for popping in. So they are doing some things to make. You have to show that you have had a lateral flow test. The truth is, anyone could fake that. If you really wanted to, if you want, I mean, it's not like the kind of people, I hope that the kind of people who are watching this aren't the kind of people to fake it, but you've got to, anyone who's got any intelligence to play anachrony is higgledy-piggledy. No, it's like higgledy-piggledy. It's a British phrase.
Yeah.
You've heard it before.
Though? Is it just British? I don't know. I say it all the time.
You say it all the time. There you go.
I grew up with it. I don't know if it's British or if it's just I read a bunch.
I mean, it's definitely not just a Bez phrase.
Yeah. No, definitely not. Piggledy. I know exactly what you mean too. Like,
but yeah, they are. Anyway, you could get someone else's test and then scan that in if you really wanted to go in.
Yeah.
I hope that no one is going to be that obtuse.
Yeah.
And lots of love, Mill. I look forward to seeing you, like, maybe do a wee elbow bump or something. And that's the thing, like, at what point do you hug people?
Yeah.
I have hugged Jason, who has come over. And we're going to be working together. We're going to be sleeping in the same room for a long weekend. So I guess we might as well just enjoy a hug.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
But am I going to hug people that I see? I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to hug even my best friends. That I think I'm going to do the elbow, ankle jazz hands.
Yeah. 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 I think I have hugged mostly people who, like me, are fully vaccinated. I was able to get fully vaccinated back in the spring, and my game group has slowly made their way, there with me. And so some of those folks I have hugged when I've seen them. We've had some stitch and bitches, and we've had some game nights. And so I've gotten to see a handful of people. And of course my roommate, but like, that's kind of it. I'm also still doing the elbow bump thing.
Okay, we probably should get on, and that's the end of our long introductions about us and conventions. And let's play a thing. So, shall we take turns, or do you want to guess all of my things first, and then I guess all of your things?
I don't know.
Okay.
I might need time, right? To like think about all the things that you're gonna take.
Okay.
So maybe we should go back and
forth.
So
how about you start guessing mine, and people in the chats can give you kind of advice and suggestions, and you can talk through your thinking.
Okay.
So what's going on is ages ago, I wrote an article about things to take to conventions. I think there were 18 objects on that list. My gosh. I kind of ranked them, so I have a definite top 10. I think this is my top 10 things to take to a convention as an exhibitor. I'm going to clarify that. This is as an exhibitor. Some of these things, there is no need to take them. I would be astonished if a random punter took some of these things. It's like, oh. But as an exhibitor, these are things that I would take and I would encourage other people to take if you're thinking of going to a convention. So let's get 10 guesses. And we'll see how many of them you can guess of my top 10.
All right. Okay. I think the number one thing would have to be your games.
Okay. So the number one thing.
The thing that you're exhibiting, which I'm going to assume is your games.
Yeah, so I want to make it clear that number one is more specific than that. Number one is games to demo. So that's specifically the open copies, and it might be prototypes of new stuff for future for people to play test. But it's also open copies because I don't want to be opening new copies of a game everywhere I go. So I want to remember to take my open copies.
Yeah. So then would games to sell be a separate line item?
That is number two.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so you have actually gotten two of them with two guesses. Very nice.
Okay. Let's see. Nobody's helping me yet. I'll keep glancing at the comments. So I'm trying. Having not been to a game con, but having exhibited at other kinds of events like markets and that type of thing. I don't know if you would have to take your own tables and tablecloths and that type of thing. But what about promotional posters or promotional materials? I don't know, things to hang. Things to hang in your booth.
Okay, I'm going to need a slightly more specific guess than that.
Like a banner.
Okay, yes. So number 4.
There's no word for it.
Number 4 was roller banners.
Okay.
Exactly, I think this is what Mill's talking about, roller banners, and I am really stressing because I ordered some roller banners with supposed 48-hour turnaround on Thursday, and they still haven't arrived, and I don't know when they're arriving.
Oh my
god!
gosh.
So if they don't arrive first thing tomorrow, then I won't have them. And I ordered 3 new roller banners, and I was really looking forward to showing them off.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, one for couple, one for categorical, and one for hey, it's best day. Which only. It was actually a banner that I can only use once on 1st of August.
Yeah.
But
what about display shelves or display cases?
Okay, that's your first miss.
Okay.
So I don't tend to take shelving or anything like that. The games are in the box. The boxes can go under the tables, or I can put some boxes behind the banners. I can hide them like that. And in terms of displaying them, I just put them, on top of one of the tables. So I've normally got some demo tables and also a selling table. That's the way I've kind of gone now.
Okay, how about an extension cord?
An extension cord? So I'm just plays a stacking game with all the boxes from the floor.
Yeah, that's true.
No, that's it. And you're free to accept or not accept, but extension cord is your second miss.
Okay, all right.
So I think actually of all the exhibitors this year, I think 12 of them even get electricity. You have to pay extra for electricity normally at one of these.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll accept. Well, before I accept snacks, I have one that may not be on your list, but it should be, which is a different red blouse for every occasion.
So that is number 6.
Yes.
And things to wear. So if you go to my article, and I'm not going to link to it because I don't want people going there just yet. And also it is an article that I did tweak the order slightly, but I think it's important to be wearing clothes. But also, you might, it's not just about wearing random clothes. I think that's if you're in your thing, you might want to think about branded t-shirts. I think you might want to be thinking, and hello, Vicky, it is lovely to see you. Thank you for dropping in. And I've got 3 outfits. I've worked them out. It's kind of takes a bit of a load off you.
Yeah.
So like each day is a different outfit. Make sure you've got a change of shoes. I have worn heels at conventions. I have once worn like 4-inch heels, but I wouldn't do that if I was planning to move about very much.
Yeah.
And yes, Vicky, if you are there, what number am I? I think I'm 452. Where's my Emmy? I'll look it up later on. But it will be lovely to see. But yes, clothes. One of my outfits will probably be mainly red. One of my outfits will be mainly red, but with also black. And one of my outfits will be mainly red, but also with white.
Of course, because that's what we expect. All right. I'm going to accept snacks as one of my 10 guesses, because who would not have snacks on their top 10 list? Come on.
I should have put snacks. You know, the thing is, snacks
Can
were
you
not
change
on
your list on the fly.
I could, but I won't. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to count this as a fail, because I've noticed it's nowhere on my list. Because the truth is that food is just so important to me that there's no way I would forget it, I guess.
Okay,
but,
all right. Good.
I'm just going to I am going to check if it was even on my list. But yes, I have so many snacks. I have oats cakes, I have peanuts, I have chocolates. Normally, at 2 p.m., I would be giving away some stuff to people who come by, because it's the daily 2 p.m. event. But this year, because of COVID, I'm not giving away food. No food.
Yeah.
But
understandable.
There is still a 2 p.m. event. It's like a prize tournament. And so if people come over to the stand on Friday, I'm having the LDEC triathlon. On Saturday, it's a competition for whimsical creatures. And on Sunday, it's a competition for a new game that I'm releasing on Sunday. And it will be freely available to the first 50 people who ask for it on Sunday.
Nice.
It's called Make a Word Search. And it's literally a free game, and you will be able to download it for free. But then if you come on 2 p.m. on Sunday, because Sunday is Beds Day, it's 1st of August, it's a special day, everyone will get stickers just for entering the competition.
Nice. That's fun.
But I don't want to advertise that fact. Also, I'll be giving literally one game every hour.
Oh, nice.
So the secret thing in my mind, I've just thought, okay, the first person to win a game. And I don't want this to be like publicly written down, because just in case someone starts, being a jerk about it. But assuming everyone's like nice, it will be like, okay, you're the first person to win a game this hour. You get to pick a free game, and then they can just and so it will be like a special thing for the 1st of August. And so that
sounds like fun. Yeah. That sounds like
But
fun.
yeah, snacks totally should have been on the list, but it's not. So I will not count that as a guess.
Okay. All right. I thought of something. A way to take money. So
yes.
I don't know what that is for you, if that's like a little credit card thing on your tablet or just what.
Okay, so I had Money Belt, Money, and this year I do have iZettle, which I've got to open up and get working. I mean, it's an app. It's meant to be easy. If we can't get it working this evening, then we're not going to be able to. It's going to be too complicated to do that thing. But yes, money and taking money, absolutely. Having change, having the Money Belt, having maybe an iZettle or whatever you use. I'm not promoting the iZettle. For all I know, it could be rubbish. For all I know, it could be terrible. But I will report back to you with my typical candor maybe next week.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think I agree with Vicky that the next item on the list is stickers and little giveaway items.
Oh, I think Vicky was just saying stickers because
I
Vicky
know,
was
but I'm
excited.
taking it as it's a thing that you got to have as your little giveaways.
Okay, so yes, I am counting. That was number 10. I'm counting that. So what I wrote for number 10 was giveaways or stuff to hand folk. So I've got these little stickers. I've got that.
Tchotchkes, yes, exactly, Slivers. Tchotchkes.
Exactly. So in previous years, I've had little beer mats. I've had keychains when Jugamick gave me a bunch of them for free. And but yes, having something to give away. Yes, absolutely. So there's 5, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, I've had 9 guesses. I get one more. Let me think. Oh, what else do you need in a booth?
I'm counting it as 8 guesses because one of the guesses snacks. I just, it's a freebie. Have you guessed pens?
Oh, pens. No, I have not guessed pens. That's a very good one. Thank you.
Are you guessing pens?
Sure. Thanks to write with. Writing utensils.
Pens is number 9.
Ah!
Congratulations. And so, yeah, I think that pens are brilliant. I personally am a fan of Stellar Permanence Lumo Color.
Nice.
This is a bold one, although I will be taking the fine ones for other people, especially for this year, because I've got some flip and right style stuff. But I also like the bold, just if I need to make a last minute sign. You know how it is.
Yep. All right. So since I got snacks as sort of a bonus, I feel like I'm getting one bonus guess.
And
I like this idea of access passes, but I feel like I've missed enough that I have lots of things to choose from. But I'm gonna, you know what? You can't get in without it, right? Like you can't get to your booth without your pass. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna accept Mills access passes as my guess.
That is your final.
This is my final guess. Yes.
Okay, that was not on my list because you can't. So for UK Games Expo specifically, there is something that you need to print to bring in the car. But for the actual pass, you normally get those on the door. At least I do. I go and then I pick them up when I'm there. I don't need to think about it when I'm going there.
That's true. All right. Fair enough.
But it was a really good reminder. Thank you, Mill. I have written it down to make sure that I print it tonight, which was the secret or not so secret motivation behind all of this. So if people want to have the full list as I currently have it, I am going to just copy paste the full list and see how that goes. So first, demo games, stuff for sale and prototypes. Oh, then we had stuff stock, which I mean stuff for sale, money belts, maybe with money, and roller banners, tablecloths, which I put in inverted commas because they don't have to be custom tablecloths. I actually just went and bought some meters of new fabric, and it's just fabric. It's cheap. I spent 12 quid on it, and it means that's
phone charger. Yep.
Yeah, phone's really important. The phone charger is mainly for the evenings, but paper. If you want pens, I'm surprised you didn't go for paper next. And number 10 was the giveaways. The other things are just there for in case people want to think about it. So the ones with N I have are new for this year. So it's things that I wouldn't have even really been thinking about previous years. So yes, previous years I thought about exfoliating wipes because they're really refreshing. Vitamin C tablets, so you can fill up your water. That's really nice. But this year I'm thinking about, okay, I need to make sure I've got my masks. Make sure we've got hand sanitizer for everyone. Yeah. A free magazine is important if you want to draw signs. So you've got something so you don't bleed into the tablecloth, if you know what I mean. Sellotape, white tack, scissors. strings that can just be generally useful, and access passes and snacks I added while we were talking.
Good.
And I am going to share this link to a very old article, but which, honestly, if you're going to UK Games Expo, I hope that you've done your preparation better than me and you already know your own list. But if you want to read through that, then maybe it will give you some inspiration. So, by my count, you managed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, and 10. So that is 6 out of 10. That's pretty good. So, I don't think I'm going to be able to get that many. So can you describe what you've got for your list? That's how
Yes, so my list is things to do before a con, things to do to get ready to go to the con. So it's not so much the things that you need in a booth, as much as just getting ready to attend your very first con ever. It's a lot more open-ended. I know.
So these are things for your very first convention ever. Would it be as an exhibitor, or would it be as a...
So my list is more like getting ready to go to the con, not so much what I need at the con.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And since it's my first time, it would be my first time going to a con, like, it is a super simplistic list. Let me just put it that way. Well, I mean, some of the things you might not guess, but...
So if people want to give me some help, then feel free to give me some help, and then afterwards we'll talk about the ones that I missed. And maybe you can copy-paste it into the private chat. I'll paste it into the public chat, if that's okay with you, Sarah.
Yeah, I probably will have to put it into the Discord chat because I've got it on my phone like a goofball.
Oh, it's all good. Okay, taking comfortable shoes, that's a really good shout, but it's not things to take. Remember, it's not taking this, but comfortable shoes is a really good shout. And for mine, yeah, if I was to get into it, I would say, yeah, think about your comforts with your clothes, think about your branding. I always try to take at least 2 pairs of shoes. So these days I've got my trainers for my morning run and then something else. Okay. Firstly, I'm going to say you need to think about where it is. Plan your route.
Sure.
Sounds like that might not have been on the original list.
It's not. It's well. I think it's the same thing as kind of like I don't know. I may be giving this away because you may be thinking the same thing I'm thinking when I say like make reservations, like buy your tickets and make your plans. You know,
I was thinking literally your driving route or your train journey or however you are getting there. You need to plan that thing. Was that not on your list?
It wasn't.
What we'll say is that if there's any judgments call, we'll ignore it. So it's.
I think I still would count that as like making my reservations because I would do those things kind of together.
I mean, I'll go with that. But like, to me, the hotel reservations are a different thing.
Yeah.
But if you want to give me that as a freebie, so it's like the hotel reservations, then I am all for that. I like your generous point giving. Mill suggests sets of budgets. Like, I am not sure. Like, I like the idea. I'm not sure it's going to be on a top 10 things, especially if Sarah said are super simple. But I'm going to say, like, maybe look at what might be available or think what games you might want. So I'm going to go with that. So it's not quite set budget, but it's like look at what game inspired by that. Think about what games you want to buy. Might want to buy.
Yeah, I actually, you know what? It's funny. I put something kind of like that because I made a list for what I would do and what I thought you would do, and I actually put something like that on your list, but not on mine. Which is so goofy because I'm so budget oriented, but I didn't even think about that for some reason.
I would never make a budget. And hello, N20 Games. Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us live. I'm trying to currently guess what are Sarah's top 10 things that she would do before going to a convention. And so if you want to, but you did not have anything like that set to budget or plan which games to.
And I'll add one more little piece. I think if I'm going to go to a con, I would be going as an exhibitor. So, I mean, I think things that I would do in advance could also relate to getting ready for that.
Okay, so there are some exhibitory things in here.
I think there's some getting ready to be an exhibitory things in here.
Okay, is there something to do with emailing or contacting press people or...
Yeah. Yes, sort of. Yes, sort of. Yes, sort of.
I'm hearing that as a yes.
Yeah. Because what I want to do is, and the other women in our group want to as well, if we ever are able to go to a con together, is the Girls Drinking Wine and Playing Games group wants to do like, I guess maybe a press party kind of thing where we could all be there together and throw a party for our friends, but also answer questions if people want to talk to us about our games.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm gonna give you that one.
But that's from the point of view of to your fellow press colleagues, not as a publisher reaching out to press.
You know, it's a funny situation there with Girls Drinking Wine, because even though we have our little creator thing, we still look at that as a way to promote our individual publishing companies. And so I think it makes it easier if we could all come together to do that, because doing that kind of thing is expensive for me by myself. It's just me. And I think throwing something like that would generate interest, and we get a lot of fun people there. And
Makes
then
sense. I mean, there's more and more publishers and designers and self-publishers who are starting to review or critique or say what they learned from other games. And it feels like Girls Drinking Wine and Playing Games makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not going to go probably until the pandemic's over. But yes, if I were going now, that would definitely be me.
I mean, we had this conversation. I'm going this weekend, but, you know, they are checking everyone. But yeah, Sarah's... Okay, so what else would you do? I think you would pack some games.
Oh yeah. Here's my item: pack more games than clothes. Literally what I wrote on my list.
That makes sense. I mean, you only need one out. I think one outfit per day, even if you're getting sweaty, is still a lot. But you want maybe more than one game per day.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Ooh. This is a really good one. I'm going to go with this one. Like, make an itinerary, some sort of itinerary for the talks and events.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you have to do that, right?
I mean, yeah, you kind of do. If you're at a table all the time, then it's less complicated. If you're volunteer, then it's less complicated. But even then, you probably want to be like, okay, these are the things that I want to see and what's going to... And N20 says, packing games to go to a game convention, only real gamers will do that. I hate this phrase, real gamers, but I get the joke. And hello, Tailwagon Games, lovely to see you. We are attending our very first board game con this year.
Oh,
congratulations.
Which one are you going to?
That's what I was about to ask. Let us know. So the question of the day that I was asking everyone was, what will be your next convention? I know some people it will be UK Games Expo, but if you are not Mill or Vicky, then and you are going, but yeah, let us know what's going to be your next one. Or is it going to be our first one? Anyway, so I've had 6 guesses. 2 of them have been misses. 2. What else would you do before? Would you? I'm trying to think. These aren't guesses, so don't be jumping the gun. But I'm just thinking about sickness, like maybe resting up, maybe sleeping well. Sleeping well might be quite a good one. I mean, Tailwagon Games is going to BGG Con. That sounds fantastic. I have heard the best things about that. Gil Hova, designer of Wordsy and High Rise and Networks, told me that that's their favorite convention. At least one of them. They probably have like 3 different ones that they will say on different days of the week or whatever. But just yes, apparently such a lovely atmosphere for different reasons. And so, yeah, I hope you have a great time there. But what would Sarah do before a convention? I'm trying to. Can I ask about your family? Like, I don't know anything. But do you have a partner? Do you have children?
No, I have a roommate. We have pets. My roommate is also a gamer, and she's been going to Gen Con for years, but of course she lived in Indiana, so she was right there by Gen Con. So they the last year and this year, instead of going to the convention, they've done Friends Con. She and her group that always went to Gen Con just get together and do their own thing. So at the same time. So she's headed for that in a few weeks. But yeah, no, it's just me and my roommate and pets. I do have elderly parents who.
Okay, so I was just thinking in my mind if you would have to maybe warn someone. This is me just thinking out loud. It's not to guess, like if you would invite people. Actually, you know what? I am going to. No. Inviting people is going to be I'm going to guess this. Inviting everybody else to come to the convention with you.
I did not put that on my list, but it needs to be on my list because, like I said earlier, I don't want to go by myself. But I didn't. But so this is kind of like you and snacks.
Like, where it's just such a big thing that you would do it.
Like you didn't even think about it because it's just inherently what you're going to do. Like this is sort of inherently what I would do. Maybe not invite people so much as just make sure my roommate or somebody was going to be with me, that I would never even add it to the list. So that's going to be your bonus. Yay. That's going to be your little bonus that you get. So you get to choose it, pick another one. Okay. I'm going to write it on here too, so I have it.
So M20 suggests some people will pack healthy foods because getting healthy snacks can be tough. Yep, 100%. And I myself, I really like oats cakes. I mean, peanuts are good, don't get me wrong. And if I'm at peanuts are my second favourites. I already opened one of the 10 packs that I bought yesterday. I mean, I'm not taking all 10 of them to UK Games Expo, but oh my gosh.
So are you guessing that or are you still talking through?
I'm talking.
Okay.
But like Flo's one, but I know that this isn't a thing for you because you used to have a pet, but you don't unfortunately have a pet just now. And
but we have more than just my dog. We do have more than just my dog here in the household. So
okay. But yes, oats cakes are best because they're in nice little packs of like maybe 6, which is quite nice for a snack. And if you eat 3 and then you put them away, it's not too bad. And yeah, you can get seeded oats cakes, which are brilliant. I'm going to go with Flo's thing. Get a pet sitter.
Make arrangements for the pets is on my list. It's almost, I didn't really put mine in order, but at least back when I had a dog, that would have been, I would not have done anything before I made sure that he was cared for. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I think I've got 3 guesses left.
Yes. Yes.
I'm
Yes.
struggling to think of things, so I'm going to say plan your meals, like, which is actually something that I need to make a restaurant reservation because, yeah, but would you plan your meals?
I gotta tell you, I would not have known to do that, but now that we've had this conversation, I will be doing that because I would have shown up with like $50 and then been like, well, crud, I didn't bring enough money for food. So no, it's not on my list because even though food is very important to me and I do budget, I'm terrible at it. So unfortunately, no.
Okay, so are we counting this as a miss or?
Yeah. Unfortunately, because I'm just
That's
like,
fair.
oh.
I mean, in the lots of conventions, if you've got the money, then there is, lots of fine places. I think at UK Games Expo this year, they say it's going to possibly not even be there, but you will be able to go to the places that are always there. Like, I hate advertising the corporation, but Subway is going to be their next door.
Sure.
There's the restaurants that are there. But normally they have the food vans, and at Aircon, I keep talking about Aircon, but Aircon does have the best food.
Tail wagging game saying thanks for reminding me. Yeah.
Washing your car. That doesn't sound like something I would imagine Sarah doing.
Don't even waste a guess on that. No, that's definitely not something Sarah would do.
I mean, I don't even know what detailing a car is, to be honest.
Getting it really clean inside.
Okay. Okay. Oh, look at transport options from hotel to exhibition center each day. Like we talked about that already.
You guys know so much more about going to a con than I do.
Well, this is good. This is going to be all good.
I know. Like I'm getting these good ideas for planning, but I've never been to one, so I don't know a lot of that kind of thing. Like I have like this childlike idea of what getting ready to go to a con as an exhibitor entails.
Well, so there's 5 missing. We've only got 5 off the list, and
then you've got 2 more. You've got 2 more guesses.
Arrange meetups with friends. We already talked about an itinerary, and we already talked about arranging to be there with friends. So I feel like arranging meetups with friends would be kind of part of that.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, making a list of publishers to visit. I could see this being different to what I suggested earlier, which was an itinerary or games to buy. But yeah, sorts of stands to visit or publishers to visit, or would that be different to an itinerary? I'm going to guess it. Publishers to visit.
I'm actually not going to let you pick that because I feel like that would be. I feel like that is part of the itinerary.
Yeah, I thought it might be. I'm really struggling. So can you go over the 5 that we've already guessed?
Yes. So making arrangements for pets. I have make a list of the things I want to do while I'm there, which is the itinerary, all of the places to go. I kind of like lump that all together. I pack more games than clothes. Plan a room party with the Girls Drinking Wine crew and invite everyone. Make it an event. I have the make reservations, which I kind of gave you as because that planning my route and making the reservations along the way would be part of it. And then I'm giving you the bonus. So this is the bonus extra one that wasn't on my list of inviting people along or make sure people that I know already know are going, because that would be just sort of like
added
your
to the list. Exactly like the stacks. And I've got 2 more guesses, and this is crazy. This is surprising, astonishing how hard it is for me to.
Well, I will give you a hint. You actually guessed something earlier while you were just talking through, and then you got like distracted by something that somebody said.
Yes, I talked about health and stuff, so I'm going to say get plenty of sleep before.
Yes.
Boom.
Try to sleep is a before going thing, because I don't sleep very good to begin with. Oh.
Yes, because you are going to be short on sleep, especially some people love to be, you're there, you want a game all the time. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, yep, I am going to be having an early night. I know that I would enjoy playing games, but especially if I'm there as an exhibitor, I need to be in the halls 8 o'clock. And so I need to be going to bed basically right now, sundown. Which is actually quite. I'm trying to. No, I won't be able to see the sky where I am, so it's not actually convenient at all. It's not like, oh, it's sunset, time to go to bed.
Oh gosh! All right, you got one more guess. You've got one more guess.
I'm going to go with this. Buy the tickets.
See, I feel like that's part of the reservations.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, one more guess.
It is helpful, though. It is helpful. Yeah.
Some people will visit the stylist. Like, honestly, I am, one of those people. Like, I'm going to admit I did get my hair trimmed. It's not much shorter, but it's just kind of to get rid of the split ends, so it's a bit less scraggly. And I did, do something so I kind of feel happier about how I look. But Mill suggested look at the whole map. That feels like the whole itinerary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. I think that's all kind of part of it.
I'm astonished, and there's 4 more things, and we can't think of any of them.
Oh gosh!
I feel like at this point, given that it's after 5,
and here's why I think you guys can't think of it. You and the people in chat. I think you can't think of it because you all have been to cons, and you're like veterans of this. You know what to do. And I'm like, I'm going to my first con. What am I going to do?
So you're saying that we take it for granted we would do it without thinking? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like you're more like you're more businesslike about it. And I'm more like goofy about it. I mean, I'm trying to deal with like the big things, right? Make your reservations, make sure the pets are taken care of. But I also have a few like little things that are just like silly for me that are
filling up the car with petrol would be like, parts of that. I feel like that's already been covered by.
Yeah, I think so too.
The make reservations and ways to get there. Learn a game to play. I'm going to go with that. Learn a new game to teach or to play.
I think I'm gonna give you partial credit for this one.
Because of the time, let's call it half a point. Or
because I think one of the things that I would do would be to like try to finish a game prototype in time to take it to play test with people, which is sort of a similar thing because it would be new, and I would be, supposedly the only one who knew how to play it. So here's my other 3. I would want to make
learning a published game. It would actually be finishing your own prototype.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I can see how that's half a point for that.
Yeah. All right. I am going to have to send this to you in this list in Discord since it's on my phone.
And send the one for things that I would do, and we will all.
Yeah. And so the other 3 things I would want to do for a con would be to make a costume.
Oh wow!
I would need to stock up on painkillers because I have lots of chronic pain, but I also would want to make some gifts for my special friends.
That's so cute.
That might be kind of a partial. Friends. I mean, I'm one of the things that I'm doing right now, and you guys may have seen this on my Twitter, is amigurumi. I'm making little like water droplets for my Diamonds for Water game, and I've made some little like dice, little squishy dice and things like that. So I probably would crochet stuff for people.
Aww.
Oh goodness. All right. Here's my Bez list.
Yeah, I agree. That is a great list. And thank you. So, what kind of costume would be going through your mind? Would it be something like super complex cosplay, or would it be, just curate, thinking, okay, these are the colors that
it
are going
depends
well
on how
together?
much energy I would have getting ready to put something together. I've been actually putting together kind of a fun steampunk costume. It's just general steampunk. But I think it would also maybe depend a little on where I was going. So maybe something from a game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. And then when you're wandering around, it's like, yeah, this is a game that I like. Hey, check it out. That's the thing. There aren't that many super recognizable characters outside of CCGs. I mean,
yeah.
And here's
yeah, that's true. That's true. Like I've always wanted, I'm very tall. This is why, big girl games. I've always wanted to cosplay Zoe from Firefly because she's tall. And one of my favorite games is Legendary Encounters Firefly. So yeah, I agree. We should be cosplaying games. I mean, we could make Wingspan games, right? We could just make like really beautiful like bird costumes.
We could just be birds. We could all coat ourselves in feathery dresses.
Yeah, so here's our list of things that I thought that you would do to get ready to go.
So you believe that I have multiple board gaming nemesis?
I do. I don't know.
I have zero nemesis in board games. I have one fake nemesis, which is all to do with comics, and that's all to do with comics. I have zero. If someone wants to be my nemesis, like we don't actually have to, be nasty to each other. We can be fake nemesis. But if anyone wants to be my fake nemesis in board gaming, talk to me. Maybe in August, because right now I'm a bit preoccupied. But next week, talk to me.
Yeah,
we can start thinking about ways to, get in each other's way or call out. And I'll say things like, "Oh, they're so evil. They turned a die when they weren't meant to."
Oh, that's hilarious.
They are so succumbed by analysis paralysis that I went to the toilet, and then I went and ordered my dinner, and then I ate my dinner, and then I came back, and they still hasn't done their move. I can spread all sorts of lies about you.
Oh, gosh. Well, I want you to notice one of the things I put on there was go get a mani-pedi to have a few minutes to sit still and relax. So that's kind of like going to the salon. It's not the same thing, but I thought you might do something like you're good at like self-care. So I felt like before you went, you would give yourself a little bit of self-care to have a relaxing moment.
So I'm actually going to read through this and tell you which ones of these I actually did. Set up a complicated system of communication for seat saving. I don't even know what this means.
Oh no, I'm a little influenced by Felicia Day's web show, The Guild. Okay. And so when they go to their first con together, one of the characters creates
for saving seats for other people.
Complicated system for saving seats for other people.
Yeah, I'm an exhibitor. I pay for space. Yeah. I mean, if I want people to leave my space, I just ask them and they have to leave, and I get to chair for as long as I want. Rent an RV. I have in the past this year and the past couple. Generally, other people have had vehicles. Arrange for communication with your partner. I don't currently have a partner. Pack plenty of red blouses. Yeah, we
already got that one. Yeah.
I don't actually do that many. I try to limit myself because if I just take clothes, then I end up packing too much. Mm-hmm. And so it's very specifically, this is what I'm going to wear on this day. This is what I'm going to wear on that day. This is what I'm going to wear on that day. And then
that's still plenty. That's still plenty. I mean, enough for what you need to do with them.
I'm actually thinking, and one of them's what you would call an undershirt on my top. One of them's one of them I kind of a blouse. Sorry, I'm just two. Two's not that many, but go get. Yeah, I did have some waxing done, which is a lot less, stress-free, a bit more
Yeah,
painful.
yeah.
But yeah, schedule a stream or free for the day before you leave. Oh wow.
Okay, 2 days before you leave.
No, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Okay.
I feel very called out. Look at con schedule in advance and choose your top panels and games. Yes, 100%. I did look through, and there was like one thing that's like, okay, that sounds good, and I'm going to design a whole new game from scratch, in advance for a. So, design a whole new game from scratch. I am not going to say no to that, because the truth is that, like, we whimsical creatures, it was kind of like, yeah, the whole reason that I did it was to get it out there. So I do feel very called out by this list.
I'm not calling you out. I'm just
No, not called out in a bad way. It could be like applauded or whatever, but yeah.
Oh,
And no, this has been a delight. And so if anyone else, I will probably write. I'm not going to promise my future self work for my future self, because then my future self will be, oh, past Bez, why did you promise this stuff? But if I have the energy, I might, or if I don't, I won't. I'll redo the lists, and I might put this into some sort of thing if that's what people would be interested to read. But let me know what you think. But it's been such a delight, and I do have to get back to chatting with Jason, making sure that we know the games. And one thing that I will always do as an exhibitor is, and this is a good topic, I probably should actually write what I would do as an exhibitor. One thing is definitely, yeah, making sure I have a new game to show off, but also making sure that whoever is with me knows all the games, and making sure that we are able to teach them well. Jason and I will now, for the next few hours, play a few games of Micro Muckle, and we're going to play the other games, Unfinishable and whatnot, and make sure that, yes, there's. I just looked on the submissions form. There's been more than 50 games submitted now since I opened it up in 2017, admittedly, for the L deck. So if someone's like, hey, how many games can you play for this deck? And I just say now, more games than there are letters in the alphabet, which I think is quite a nice way to put it. But I want Jason and everyone to at least, and even myself, to refamiliarize myself, to make sure that I don't have any of the rules of, wait a minute, was this 3 cards that you draw at the start, or was it 4 cards? Little things like that. Even if you design the games, sometimes you forget these rules. So it's super important to make sure that everyone has played it and everyone's on top of these things. Yeah. And if it's a game where, oh, we're probably not going to play those 5 things, but especially for the L deck, I like people to be able to know vaguely what it is. Like Unfinishable, I'm not planning to even demonstrate it because it's a 2-player game. Bad for cons. You want more people down. You're moving the cards with each other, and Jason has taken some sanitizing wipes, so Jason might potentially be able to sanitize the cards between people, but these are what we're doing and for stopping cross-contamination. And if people come in a pair, then they can play together. But if they didn't come in a pair, then we shouldn't be getting 2 strangers to play together right now. But we want to at least be. But anyway, it's been so lovely, Sarah. Thank you for joining in. Let me try and. I don't have your links on a thing here. I should. Big Girl Games on Twitter. I will chuck that in. If you don't know Sarah, then please check them out on Twitter. Check them out on biggirlgames.us, which is the website where you can see everything, and talk about yourself for a minute.
Okay. Well, my thing that I'm working on this week, I've been working on it for a couple of weeks and trying to get it out, is a little card-based RPG where you play brand new baby witches who are trying to stop bad, evil, ancient monsters that have been awakened by climate change. So, looking for some playtesters. If anybody wants to playtest, you can check. You can let me know on Twitter. Would be great.
And that is on Tabletop Simulator?
No, it's just going to be a print and play playtest at this point.
Okay.
It's an RPG. It's a tabletop RPG. Journaling RPG.
So not too much to print that you actually have to print then. So
No.
I guess the instructions you can just read on your screen if you don't want to print them out, and then
Yes.
the journaling you do. That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, if anyone's interested in playtesting that, will all the contact information be on biggirlgames.us?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I want to say before I skedaddle, thank you, Mill, for the lovely words. I am looking forward to seeing you, and I think Jess is not going to be there, but I'm looking forward to just walking around, in the morning, especially on the Thursday. Thursday is going to be the day before the press preview where it's chill. And also I love coming in at 8 a.m. because the show starts at 9. And if you're there a wee bit early, then you can clear up from the night before, be comfortable, and then you get half an hour to just run around and see everyone. Oh, lovely. Aww. And thank you very much, N10 Games. I agree. Sarah, it's been a delight having you on every fortnight. It's just lovely chatting.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, Tailwagon Games.
Yay.
And yeah, that's everything. Recap, wrap up. I mean, we both got a bit more than half of each other's lists. Yeah. We had fun.
We did.
If you want to check, me out, do that. Also, I want to remember to do a shout out to the LDEC contest, because the LDEC contest is closing on Saturday night UK time. So the UK is kind of in the middle of stuff. I think I might have put GMT. Honestly, look, if you submit it at 12:09, I'm not going to care. Like, if it's 9 minutes late, I'll probably just overlook that. But I'll kind of be like, at a point, or just... But try to do it by the end of Saturday if you can. If you are making a game, don't worry. Even if you can't play test it, that's okay. If it's a game for 8 players and you can't play it, if it's 8 players minimum, I might struggle to play it myself. But if it's a game for 4 players and you can't play it, and it's 4 players minimum, and it's social deduction, and you think, I can't possibly solo test this, I don't know how good it is, but you play it with the LDEC cards, then, still send it in, and I will play it. We'll see how it goes. And we've got like 3 days planned, me, Chris, and Layla. And if we need a 4th player, we've got, other people that we can enlist. And for the typography competition, which is closing the same day, then please jump in on that, because no matter what you think of your own artistic ability, whatever you do is unique. And I would love to see loads and loads of people, even if it's just spending literally, 1 minute per letter, kind of thinking, what am I going to do? Maybe I'll make them all look really long, and then just using your own handwriting, but just doing it in a bit of a fancier thing. Scan it, either scan it in or take nice photos of it, send the images to me. I think you can send in up to 5 different typefaces if you want. Ooh. And then I will put them in, and we will compare them all, and myself and Chris and Layla will look at them. And if I need an assistant judge, I will get Miles or someone. I'll enlist people. And then we'll talk about them and celebrate them and share them with the world and link to your things. And at least one person will get 100 quid of cash transferred, however is least hassle. And 5 people will get mentorship for a year if you want, and also a bunch of games. So that is the prize pack for both of those contests. They both have exactly the same prizes. So I would encourage people to join in both of those, because I think so far we've had 7 entries for the game design contest and only 2 entries for the typography contest, which slightly surprised me. But, you know, people do submit things last minute, so we'll see how it goes. But I am super excited for that. I want to say thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Sarah. Lots of love. And I look forward to seeing you in person one day.
Yeah.
You know, maybe one day I will be in USA, or you will be so in love with conventions you'll want to come to UK Games Expo 2023 or something. I don't know. What's the chance of that, realistically?
Well, you know, my best friend from grad school lives in London, and her daughter is my goddaughter. And so, yeah, I think there's a good chance we might just plan it to where I could come see them finally and come for
Well, if you were coming for UK Games Expo 2022, I would still be living in London, so we could totally hang out. If it's safe to travel, we could totally hang out before. But if it's any other year, I might no longer be living in the UK, but I am planning to come back to UK for UK Games Expo, because I decided, out of all the European conventions, the one I would most like to come back to, I think, is UK Games Expo.
Nice. Where are you thinking of moving?
Thailand.
Ooh.
End of 2022. I was originally going to move this year, but I've given myself a year because, you know, we lost the year, kind of.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll try to plan it.
If anyone wants to say anything that they want to give a shout out to, here's your chance. Over to what you're up to. You can speak, but only if you want to. You can share anything if you want to, anything you're looking forward to. Like, if you are excited about UK Games Expo, or excited about dinner tonight, I'm going to cook some chicken. I am tempted. I'm tempted. Tell me what you think. To experiment and cook strawberries on the chicken.
Ooh, that actually doesn't sound bad at all. I have a recipe that's got mangoes on chicken. So strawberries. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to do it.
I'm not looking forward to anything today because I have doctor's appointments, but it's fine. It's fine.
Well, I hope you can look forward to getting on the path to getting better.
Yeah. Same.
If you want to check out when I am going to be streaming, check out this link. I only have one stream currently scheduled for Tuesday. I will decide by tomorrow morning whether I'm going to. Basically, it depends on my travel. If I'm back in London, I will stream. If I'm not, then I won't. But I will arrange something, and that's the thing. It also tells you when I am doing real life stuff. And also, 1st of August, LDEC Twitter is going to be. Layla is going to be playing a game of Micro Muckle. So if you can't be at UK Games Expo, I'm paying Layla to spend the evening UK time from 5 p.m. until people stop being excited. Layla's going to have a scavenger hunt that's going to be running, and it's like you'll have to find certain objects and take photos of them and send them in. There's no prize, but it's just like, hey, I found this thing. And then there's going to be a game of Micro Muckle where you can play along, because it's a roll and write, but it's you know what I mean, with blank paper, and it's a words game, and Layla will hopefully explain the game well enough and explain it as she's going well enough that you will be able to play along, whether you do it at the same time or after the fact. So share, spread the word. We are going to be raiding someone, as is tradition on Twitch. Let me double check who is live, if Duchess or let's raid our friends. Our good friend Duchess, who is a lovely person, board gamer and puzzle master. So for sure, Thailand N20 Games sounds exciting. Thailand Expo 2023. You know what? My dream, I don't know how realistic this is to get to an apartment there, a nice studio, like a video studio set up, like some people have even in the US where it's more expensive and stuff. But to have that, but then also to hire like a couple of people to help me around here, and then to set up like a prototype design shop, and so it will be like a place where we design stuff and review stuff and do everything. And there's like game cafes already there, so like we could, like, honestly, I imagine that it will be more, here's the forthcoming stuff, and it will be like a media creation and game design stuff, and yeah, that would be amazing. But I believe there is already one thing, but not enough. And lots of love. Okay, I'm going to delete that comment on Facebook.
Oh, goodness.
There we go. Sarah's laughing because there was an obvious spam message where someone sent a phone number saying they were going to give us free text.
I guess we're getting popular enough to be spammed now.
I was spammed with robots on like day 3. It's like just crazy who the spammers target.
Oh,
I said this was going to be a quick thing, and it's going to be longer than usual, so I do apologize. I'm just going to say,
you're just
bye.
So excited.
Bye. Thank you for so long. Bye. This is the show. Bye. Now it's time to go. Bye. This is goodbye song. Bye. Thank you for so long. Bye. This is the end of the show. Bye. And now it's time to go. Bye. I forgot to put the raid thing in.
Oh, yeah.
There, that's the raid thing. Copy paste it. Yeah, I am just UK Games Expo. I'm so freaking excited. First convention for a year and a half. Okay.
Hello.
See you in a couple of weeks, Sarah.
Yep, I will see you. Have fun at the con.
Possibly.